Hollywood, Florida, Giulio.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of JFC Hollywood and Friends. Okay, we get two new faces today. Actually, no, Eduardo is coming back. He was here probably some months ago, right? And Sergio, you're the new one in the US. You joining us from Laguna Niguel, California, and we have a tradition. Okay, so the first time people is gonna attend one of our super follow the podcast, we have a question. We want to know your favorite player and coach from Juventus
ever.
I don't want it to be too much of a given, but it has to be Del Piero.
Okay.
Like he was.
Nobody will complain.
He was coming up. It's either going to be Baggio or Del Piero. Like he was coming up while Baggio was, phasing out, and I used to play at the time, so I would buy his shoes with the signature. And the year we lost the Champions League to Borussia Dortmund, he deserved the Ballon d'Or, so he was
absolutely
out of this world. And I think coach has to be Lippi, just because of the, how instrumental he was. We hadn't won in a long time, and when he came, we just kicked ass. So it was great.
Yeah, I feel only 3 coaches have been chosen: Lippi, Trapattoni, and Allegri. No one else is chosen anything else.
So nobody chosen Del Neri, nobody chose Thiago Motta. Unbelievable, right?
No, strangely, Pirlo is the most surprising too.
Right. Okay, so guys,
right.
The question I have for you, actually, I thought a little bit about that. Okay, and is what are your feelings about this FIFA Club World Cup that we are seeing right now? Okay, and I'm gonna start saying that I was quite dubious, like perplexed when this competition was gonna start. I didn't know what to expect actually. And but I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm been enjoying, and I like it. Of course, they can make it better. Okay, they can improve it. But so far, I like the competition, and I even like enjoying. I think the game are quite entertaining. So for different reasons, and that's what I think. So so if you want to share your thought, you want to share what you're thinking about Juventus out displaying, the stage is yours. So I'm going to start with Eduardo. So of course, we're going to start with the negative one.
No, how can I be negative this time? No, I mean, I was very much like you. Like I wasn't, like my expectations were low, and I was like, okay, I'm going to watch it, but I'm not going to get too involved. And then of course Juve plays. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to be very involved. I've seen a couple other matches. I was expecting a little more from I think it was the Monterrey against River Plate. I had, big expectations for that, but it was kind of disappointing in terms of the quality of the play. But I cannot complain at all about how, Juve is performing so far. If you compare the last 2 games, the level of competition is whatever. Fair enough. That's absolutely true. But if you compare that team to the one that needed, pretty much 90 minutes to sneak in and get a win out of Venezia, is like, they look like 2 completely different teams. So I couldn't be happier. And I was telling you guys in the chat yesterday that, it's, the other day watching Yildiz play, I got one of my, I could feel it. It's like, it's going to be a crush on Yildiz, like a real one, because it was brewing for a while, and now all of a sudden it's a big one, and I know I'm going to regret it, but it's full-blown crush for Kenan Yildiz. So yeah.
Billo, I know you got to leave soon, so what are you?
I will start saying I like any competition when Juve pass the group stage. So this one is a good good start. And so far, of course, we didn't play great teams, but I've seen other teams struggling with small teams. So we see already an European team being eliminated. Atletico Madrid didn't make it, so it started to get real. And for sure, I would love to see a good game against Manchester City. I would like to see like basically the game we have in Champions League. So let's see if they're gonna surprise me in defense. That would be the only thing probably I'm scared of because the players we're playing with. But I'm enjoying quite a bit the way we are trying like to score. We're not afraid. We play high up, and I like that. I like that no matter what. I like to allow people to go one on one in some situation and being like courageous. So
It's been a
I
while.
think
You
Matteo-
score 9 goals in two games, right? It's been a
yeah,
while.
must be like in 1995 or something like that. But yeah, in general, about what Eduardo was saying about Il Diz, I would say to me, I probably the goal is score, but the two against Inter, it was already there. But I remember there was another time that I have a game in the regular season that I was like, yeah, here it is. And of course, with Monte was playing completely different because he was delegated to stay like left over there and defend a lot, coming back. Now it's more like similar to a trequartista role. Again, we playing against a game against a couple of teams that are really difficult to see how we're gonna really play. But I like we have space to enter in the middle because Colomani is moving around, so you have space to penetrate the area. I like what I see from Alberto Costa and in general Turam. Turam has been very good so far. So yeah, very happy. And I have a great hope for next season.
Okay. Sergio, I know you were participating at the podcast today, much more important than ours, but what's your thought?
Important is a tricky word, but I mean, what else will we be doing, right? We'd be talking about Vlahovic not renewing his contract, and we'd be talking about spending too much money on some Canadian Luis David thing that this is great. We get to watch actual games, and if anything, we can call it practice. I don't know if this is the end of the season or the beginning of the new season, but
Great.
right?
Great point.
It's somewhere hybrid, but it's throwing foundations down and seeing what we can build upon. The trophy itself is ugly and small, so like it's not the Champions League, which is like it looks important if you just look at it. And I think that it will take a little time for people and players to sort of like project some kind of aura to it and feel like, oh, this is important. It will take time. You build that over some generations, and unfortunately, this is every 4 years. But what else will we be doing like all summer long? And we
Watch
don't
the Gold Cup. No
players and get excited. So I welcome it.
You're right.
And we perform like we already bought. Basically, we already made enough to buy a player and a half.
Yep.
Right. So I mean, we'd be sitting on our butts, and now we're making money. So it's
not bad.
Good thing.
Eduardo, they're coming. Actually, they're already over there. So, and we have quite people like Abraham here is like, hey, Abraham, please stop. Come on. We know. Come, please. Stop. And so, share your thought. Share, are you excited? I don't know. Are you guys feeling in Central Florida, like Tampa, Orlando? I think you're from the location, right? And that's it. Stage is yours.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. So, yeah, I'm in Orlando. We had a nice meetup yesterday. It went a lot of people. Actually, a bunch of new people that just joined the club, and they had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun in general. But we're excited. Tomorrow, we have the face-to-face at the hotel already. Some people have been in the hotel, meeting the players, meeting Tudor, Scanavino. Some people have been there already. And then Thursday is going to be the J Village, which is pretty exciting. And then we're going to have the Juventus Legends meet and greet, which we don't know who they are. Still don't know. But we'll find out. It's only 2 days. But yeah, we're very excited.
You're gonna be happy.
You're gonna be very happy.
Oh yeah, I'm sure I will.
I mean, more than you think.
Well, we'll find out on Thursday. My kids are super excited. Everybody in the club is very excited about it. And actually, it was very interesting how many members joined the club in the past 3 weeks, maybe. We jumped from we're almost past 50 now, and we were about 28, 27.
Wow,
Hey,
that's a big jump.
Cosimo, don't do that. Don't do that yet. You're gonna spoil it.
Wow, come on. No, I'm so happy. I told Martina I'm gonna catch like a red eye. I'm gonna sleep at her house. I told her. Martina is like just Central Florida president. So
well, yeah, she's gonna be traveling to Orlando because she lives in Tampa. That's about 2.5 hours from here. So she's gonna be spending the night at some friend's house. She said, and hosted the same. They're gonna spend the night here because it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be nice. We're pretty excited about that game. I think that's gonna be the actual. Let's see how the guys really are playing with one of the big teams. Because I mean, I'm not saying the other two are, but they're not as a Premier League team that are stronger than a team from Egypt or Saudi Arabia. It's different. So we'll see how they play. I think they're gonna be okay. I think Thuram's been doing good. Cambias has been doing Gildes, but don't even talk about him. It's pretty obvious. But the defense, like Peter was saying, the defense is always the big question mark. But I think they've been showing good performance. I think Tudor is doing a good job so far with the team he has. We'll see. But the other thing was, like Sergio was saying, we already made 28 million, so we're making some money, which is always good to make some extra cash and see what we can get through the summer.
Julio, you're the last.
I'll make it very quick. Going back to, do I like this competition or not? I do. I like seeing matchups that I wouldn't see. I would never see Flamengo playing Chelsea or, by whatever, Inter playing River Plate. We don't see those type of games. So just for that, to me, it's worth it. I like to see those type of combinations. Also, the group stage, with anything, the group stage is like, all right, but I think once we get to the knockout stage, round of 16 and whatnot, I think everybody's gonna, their attention is gonna spike up. Everybody's gonna now start looking, even people in the US, because so far the following has been, the big teams that have played, that the people know, have had attention. I think once we move on to the knockout stage, a lot more attention to all the teams is going to be received. So in the end, I think even the players are going to start feeling some pressure, some, desire to do well and even win the thing. It's still like an international trophy. Put it like you want it. It's an international trophy. So you ask me, do I want to win it? I do. I want to win. So, for me, it's welcome. It's every 4 years, so it's going to happen every year. That's why it makes it special. Unfortunately, it's the first time. So, like Sergio said, you got to build, the aura around it. Waiting and wanting it, but. It's gonna be.
If we
fun.
win it, we actually had a better season than Inter Milan.
I know.
They were treble, and then nothing.
Yeah.
And
you know what?
We achieved the same that they did.
And
we could play them in the quarter of finals if either both in first place or both in second place. We both end up in the same side of the matchup, and we could play them in the quarter of finals.
Okay, we have a question from the chat, and people sharing that the only thing that so far I'm not liking is this people from Italy talking about soccer in the US like they know what they're talking about. Look, I live in the US for almost 10 years. I still don't get it. I play soccer. I coach soccer here. I'm reffing and everything. I still don't get it. But people from somewhere in Italy trying to explain that soccer here is not important. There's not a following and anything. And then they just say, hey, look, there is Atletico Madrid and Botafogo playing for something. And the Rose Bowl is half empty. Hey, Rose Bowl, first of all, is 95,000 people. Okay. And second of all, they play the game at 12 p.m. at 12, okay, on a Monday where everybody's working. And
when there's 95 degrees outside also.
And we were talking about yesterday with Giovanni about going to the game, but you see, you need to ask for like a PTO time and everything. So I think so far there are like more people than I thought. So the question is this.
Me too.
From Cosimo. He's asking, and this is like one of the latest news we got from today. So I'm going to start with Bill because I know he needs to leave. The latest rumors are gonna like a US signing Jonathan David from actually he's a free agent and selling Wea and Bangula to Nottingham Forest for about 22 million. Billo?
Well, we need strikers. Probably we're gonna need Colomani, possibly. I would be very happy if he stays with us, and two more. I think this would be the right amount of striker you need for a season. And David, it would be a good one. It would be a good addition. If you could tell me, I would be happy with Colomani and David. Yeah, I would be happy, definitely. For sure, it would be an improvement for what we have so far. So, and we need another one of the totally different characteristic. I need somebody strong up front, like a player. I don't know. I was thinking like Luca or something like that. I would like a kind of striker to like have different kind of characteristic in the middle. But yeah, I trusted last year Giuntoli. Why not trust the new DS? So
because of how it went.
I know, but it doesn't mean like every time you trust them, they're going to go bad. In the past, when I trust Moji, it was going to play well. So, it's a cycle.
Edo, come on, bring us our mood down, please.
Ciao,
Hi, Billo.
Ciao, Billo.
No.
Come on, Edo, bring our mood down, please.
All right, here we go. I got no issues with, selling Bangula and Wea, even though, Bangula, I think, showed some promising things, but clearly Tudor doesn't think much of him because he's being on the bench. I don't know. He played what?
Since he arrived.
Yeah. So clearly he doesn't see a future for him on the roster. My question is, if it's like, 22 million euros, how many million pounds is that? Like 18, 19?
Right.
That's pocket change for the Premier League. Like,
yep.
Is there the only way that we can sell two players? One of them is a U.S. national team player, so it's not like a random dude that we picked off the streets.
Yep.
The other one is a promising, 21, 22-year-old winger. Is that the best we can do?
He's younger, no?
Yeah, I mean, and he showed, he scored. He showed good signs early on, first half of the season. I've seen everybody sold for crazy amount of money, and all we could do is sell two players for 19 million pounds. That's a little low.
That's a lot low. No, a little low.
Yeah, Bangula is he's a national. He played for a youth team of Belgium. I think he got a couple of cups with them.
And Wea, is not my kind of player. I think he's very inconsistent, but still, he plays on the national team. He could. He's definitely worth more. I don't know. Even if you want to split it 50-50, he's way more than 11 million euros or
they were saying 15 for Wea and 8 from Bangula. That's what they rumor. That I don't believe actually, but
so yeah, that's my only take on the situation. We could squeeze out a few more $1 million from that deal, but maybe
Sergio?
That's the price on the market.
Sergio?
It's just the market decides the price. It does sound a little low. I don't think doing package deals necessarily drive the price up. I think it tends to do the other way around and brings it down.
Right.
So Just like anything on any market, when you're not exploiting it well, you're not showcasing it well, you're not going to sell it well. So selling them now that haven't stepped foot on the pitch, it's nobody's going to pay much for them. And I can see why we wouldn't want that many wingers, but I think Bangula has a lot of potential given his age. I think Weah has reached the plateau and he's probably not going to get any better, or his value is not going to increase much. But Bangula is probably someone worth keeping. Of course, you get to let him play.
Yep.
a little more.
I agree.
And then I hear we're throwing money, like we're selling these two guys for 22 or whatever, and we're throwing money at David's like agents just for signing. I mean, the guy's 25, and yeah, he's an international for Canada, but had he been any better, he would have been somewhere already, right? It's like,
and you have a point there,
right? If he had this much value, teams would have gone for him before that.
I know transfer market has a
14?
Yeah.
What does it say, transfer market?
It says 14, I think.
14.
Careful, Kine is checking.
Of course.
Are we gonna get a deduction because we're selling under market value this time? Like, what's the rule there?
Eduardo, what do you think? By the way,
Yeah.
I love the hat. I told Martin I love the hat.
Yeah, we got blacks and whites. I think we're gonna put them out for people to buy them. Yeah, I think that offer is way too low for both. I think Mbangula is very young, and he needs more chances on the pitch. Last year he didn't have that many with Mota. I don't think Mota liked him too much. I think he needs more chances on the field and show what he got. I think he got way more than what he has shown so far. And yeah, I agree. The where I think is at his level. I don't think he's gonna get better than that at all. It's gonna stay there. It's good. You can put him and as a replacement, and he will do his job. But other than that, I don't know. Mbangula, I think it's gonna be different. I wouldn't get rid of him at least this season, and see how he does. I think Tudor might put him to play more this time, and of course, when it's strikers, we all know that because Vlahovic, you saw him on the last game. Yeah, he scored the penalty, but that's it. Actually, on that plane, what did he do? The same thing he did all season. He didn't do anything different. And actually, the penalty was kind of close. I don't think he performed on that penalty as good striker as a man should. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I think it's low. I think it's still low.
I think we've lost our authority in these things. Like there was a time
for a
when
while.
we were like, no, I'm not selling you. Just no, thank you. I'm not even picking up the phone, right? And when we were buying, we weren't even talking to people who go like, I'm a free agent, but you have to pay me a bonus for this. And my agent is like, no, thank you. Like if you were worth that much, we would have bought you when you were younger, right?
Yeah.
And now we're struggling with buying people for a decent price, because in Italy we can't do that. In Italy, we just knock on anybody's door and the price is 25% more for us.
Yep.
We can't sell anyone because we're under everybody's threat, right? It's like when in the good old days would a striker of Vlahovic level, which is pretty low for the last season and a half, dare challenging the whole stadium, like once he scores one goal every 5 or 6 games and he just starts going like that, picking up challenge. It's just not the type of, I don't want to say person because I don't want to be offensive, but it's not the type of athlete we want, right? Besides what they do on the pitch. Just that attitude is something that we never condone.
Is the attitude that I don't like it.
Yeah, we never condoned that before. And now we just don't have the authority to be like, no.
Julio, you haven't said a word.
Yeah, no, I mean, we just went like 180 completely, from throwing money into the team to I'm going to get as much as I can from whatever I get, what happened to let's loan Bangula to Empoli and let him play 2 years and let's gain the value in that way. Why this is not happening anymore? Same thing with Hausen. We gave him 6 months to Roma, was on the bench, and then either we undersell it or nothing. Why don't we give it again another year if we Motta didn't want to hear? The approach to this is all wrong. We have a lot of young players who have had it for a long time, and instead of growing them, even if not for our team, but growing the value of them and then selling them, we're just giving them away so we can make a plus balance of a few millions. We're blinded by but Bangula costed us 400,000, so it's gonna be 7-8 million on our books. But we paid whatever so it's gonna be a couple of millions on the books. But yeah, what's the actual value? These two players are the perfect players for Premier League. Perfect, both of them. How they play in Premier League, they're gonna be great. So go them and be like, the cost is 40 million for them. Otherwise, see ya. No, we let them strong arm us. We've been doing this for so long now that it's laughable. The approach, it's wrong. Besides the cost, it's the approach to all of it that is wrong.
Okay, so sorry. I agree with you because I think that I was never a fan of Mangula. Okay, I follow him since I was playing with Next Gen. I never liked the player. Actually, proved me wrong. The beginning of the season with Thiago Motta, okay, because he did better than expected. Okay, then Tudor never gave him a chance, basically. Okay, but all these rumors going around, okay, and because all of a sudden today we got this news in our feed, okay, and in 3 seconds, basically all of the other I don't know, it was first reported by Di Marti, I think, and then everybody else followed him, okay. So I don't trust, because I think never like now there is the rumors about what we are hearing about happening in the market, okay, are not true, because as there is a new person in charge, Comoli, that nobody knows, okay, because we knew that Giuntoli was actually close to Pedulao, okay, so here and there he was getting some rumors, some voice over there. So at the moment, I think I see people being desperate out there. Even I read today that Sport Medias was giving like the Davide as a done deal, okay. I don't think so. Maybe they're talking, maybe, and I'm gonna be wrong because I never write, okay, actually, but I think that all of the rumors, all the names that we're seeing out there right now are just smokes. I don't really try. And the other thing I keep hearing about, like I was hearing in the radio, I think yesterday. You know, you see like the third squad, the third teams from Milan, from Milan winning the last minute against the Japanese team, okay, and the goal scored by Carboni. That all of a sudden Carboni is worth 25 million, okay, and they have P. Esposito that is worth like 75 million, okay. Actually, I like P. Esposito, okay, I like his brother as well. Oh, I think his brother as well, the one play with Empoli. But what I like of that team, or that fandom, to me they're dumb, okay, but they're dumb, but everybody goes in the same direction, okay. Everybody supporting the team no matter what, okay. What happened is that Juventus fans right now, we are so negative everything, so I think we are like basically kicking our butt, because I don't think this team of Juventus is as bad as we think it is. Okay, there is talent, but we have like some kind of like I don't know, aura around us that like the players, they don't feel the confidence. The player, they think that every player that they're gonna meet, everybody they're gonna miss, they're gonna find something on the social. So that's what I think right now, and maybe I'm wrong. I don't know what you guys think.
Well, one thing that other team has, well, okay, I agree with you. They're all like, raw, in the same direction. Don't move in the same direction. They agree, but there is the whole press that does that for them. Mm-hmm. We don't. The press builds all that. It's fertile ground for everybody to agree. Why Carboni now is this huge talent? Because this morning you wake up, Gazzetta, Sport Medias, and even Tutto Sport, like they're all saying great talent. So everybody, oh, yeah, great talent. Instead, we are left everybody's left with their own thoughts, and they start looking for information. There's so much out there. Everybody like picks and chooses whatever they have. So there is nothing that brings the fans together at Juventus, and I fault Juventus for this, because they should be the one driving this, since you don't have, an external factor supporting. And instead, they leave everybody at each man for themselves, and you guys figure it out. And this is the mess we're in. So I agree, but there is a lot more than just the supporters suck, which we suck. The fan base of Juventus suck, but like.
Eduardo, you're not the. Well, yeah, I know that you speak Italian. Some probably relatively live in Italy, okay, but you're the most American we have here with us today. So I don't know, like maybe you see that different than us.
No, I don't. I see it the same way. I see we're so negative and we beat ourselves up for no reason. Because we had a problem last season with Mota, and we had a problem with some players, but that doesn't mean we're the worst. I mean, we suffered to finish fourth, but we still have talent. We still have people that knows how to play. You just need to have somebody how to direct them and put them on the pitch and tell them this is what we're going to do. And the other thing is that I stopped seeing Dance and Corriere dello Sport, La Gazzetta, all of that stuff. I don't read it anymore because it's so full of,
crap.
Yeah, exactly. And I just don't want to read it. Period. So the only one I read is Tutto Sport, but sometimes they have little news like that. They start rumors or whatever. I just don't pay attention to them. Whoever comes, I want to see in that Juventus official posting or message. Okay, now I know David is here. But I stopped reading this because it drives you crazy. And then our fan base were so negative that we start going crazy at all these rumors, and then we start attacking everybody for no reason. For no reason. I just think that we need to get better on that, and I do agree that Juventus need to put their foot down and say, this is what we do. This is la Juventinidad que we're always talking about. That it seems kind of lost, and nobody in management it's putting that thing in front of everybody else. Which I have big hopes for Chiellini to start doing this and start pushing it like he should. We'll see. I gotta have good hopes on him doing that part of the game.
Yep. Sergio?
We touched upon so many things. So one is the loaning people to Empoli or anywhere, right? Like it's just to let them, gain experience. And we did the next gen for that. Basically, we wanted to bypass that, right? So that the benefit is once they're ready, they're not gone for the whole season. They don't get to play against us, but we can plug it into the first team, right? So that supposedly a good advantage, because now you can't see them in this environment where the pressure is high.
Yep.
So if they make it, then the value is higher.
But you can bypass that part if they play in the first team. If they're on the bench, you need to prove that they can play.
They need some game time.
That's what I'm saying. Bangula played like 3 months. That's it. September to January, I guess. That was it. That's what I'm saying. Like what happened to Lon and now. Like if you have them play, sure. But Juventus hasn't been never that great with putting like young kids into their first team. Now they're being forced.
No, other than Barcelona, I don't see any big team doing any better. We brought up Savona, we brought up Yildiz, we brought up Huizen, we brought up Bangula.
But brought up how? Then we're selling them for nothing.
Okay, so maybe, but I think there's also a difference between when we hear about a bid being put on the two players versus let's talk if we actually sell them for that, right? Because any agent will call any journalist and say, oh, they put a bid. So I really am very skeptical about
I agree.
everything that's being said and how much truth there's to it, or how much that becomes, some kind of a fact. I also want to hope that this Komole guy, he's done everything from carrying bags to being a coach to being a like a area manager, and now he's a general manager. He's been a CEO. He needs he's an actual coach too. Like he knows about the game. I don't, and he does the algorithm, to select players and to find nuggets into other. I don't think he's going to go for someone who is just asking for 20 million just to sign, right? Because at that point,
that's a good point.
You and I can go there and do that, right? And be like, oh, who's a free agent?
Unless
I heard of you from every newspaper on the planet, and now you want 20 million. Sure, here's a bag full of money. I don't think.
What if it's all true because they want to secure, what's his name, David? What if they need the money right now to give it to the agents? No, what I'm saying,
but that's just bad business, right? You don't.
I agree with you
that way because it's super rushed like that. So
I agree with you. That's why, I get upset at what I'm like. What happened to Juventus throwing money into the team, and now all of a sudden we don't have to put money anymore. We have to do everything with what we got. Obviously, then they're forced to do these deals with Hausen or with the Bangula, and what they have to.
Yeah.
Because if they have to work with what they got.
But this is why, I agree that Juventus fans are a little snobby and tend to be negative and all of that. And there's truth to that. But man, we haven't had anything. We haven't challenged for anything in 5 years. 3 years of Allegri, we had Salernitana come to the Allianz Stadium and have 70% ball possession. It was tough. The Juventus fans have gone through a lot. That's why they're sad, right? Because
but you brought the name of Savona, for example.
Then we had the points taken away and then given and then redone, and then the whole the CEO having to quit and Nedved having to leave. They all basically left overnight. A couple bad deals, bad injuries. We haven't had much to be excited for in a little bit. So I can see why.
Yeah, but you brought the name of Savona, for example. And look, Savona, I don't think is that young because it's 2003, because he's going to be 22, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I think as playing for the first year on the first team, he did quite decent, okay? Is it going to be the new Cafu, the new Nesta? Absolutely not, okay? Can it be a decent backup or it can be in this roster? Absolutely yes, okay?
He already is.
Yeah, exactly. But now, since he coming for a couple of months where he was struggling, all the team was struggling, especially the young player is going to struggle if the team is not carried out by the leader or by the technical leader. Okay, he was struggling for a couple of months, and now the every fan, including my dad, because my dad can even name someone. I can even name someone with my dad. He's gonna attack me. Okay, I said, okay, dude, the problem is not Savona. The problem is the other player. So let's give them a chance. You said that, Barcelona is they have history with the youth player coming from the Cantera and play up, but it's easier doing that to me in Liga because when you play in the Liga, Barcelona, Real Madrid, worst case scenario, they're going to finish third, so they're going to qualify for the next Champions League. If a team like Juventus is not going to qualify for the next Champions League, it's going to be a disaster. So you need to finish on the first four, and that they need, especially in Serie A, there is at least 6 or 7 teams that are going to play for this fourth spot. So I think, I agree, Juve is not great in letting play developing the young talent, okay? But there is a reason for that, I think. I think it's more difficult in Italy than in other league. Okay, so that's what I think. And then I have a question, because Mauro have a question for Edo, and I know that especially for you, Edo.
But what is the counterfactual, Mauro? Maybe we would have scored 12. That's the point.
Yeah.
Well, he has played 2 whole seasons. Has never happened. So I think the counterfactual already have it for 2 years of games. So
it's not like McKennie was playing like the second coming of Zidane the past 2 games, right?
No,
never has.
You're comparing Locatelli and McKennie. Now we're talking. There you go.
I mean, that he took his spot. He was moved inside.
There
and
you
took
go.
his spot.
See, we're that level. They are like those type of players. Sergio, if you don't know, and Eduardo, like me and Matteo are not much of Locatelli lovers. From a technical point of view, love the guy because he's a super gobbo. He's great, big heart,
he says all the right things, but yeah.
Don't get me wrong, So and
he could score on a bicycle kick from half field, and Matteo would be like, "Oh, but it didn't look like elegant, like whatever."
Please
Like,
shut up. Please shut up. Please shut up. Have you moved to Boston yet? Come on, please move. Please.
No.
Come on.
As you can see from the sun, no, not yet.
The question for you guys, like, it looks like we only have one guy, right? Who midfield is foundation, right? And that's Turan.
Yeah.
What happened to Douglas Lewis? Like, why aren't we giving him a chance? Like, the guy's actually good, and I understand they didn't have a good season, but it was broken half of it. And he like every time he comes on the pitch now, he does something, and you can see the way he plays. It's like, if you were saying about Locatelli, then he's a different level, and he might not perform super every time. He needs play time, but the guy is good. Like, we don't have anyone.
You're right. He's good on paper. Okay. Yeah. He look technically is really good. The problem is he was never healthy. Okay. And the few times they were healthy, he was never given a chance, because neither Motta or Tudor give him the chance to play 3-4 games in a row to actually get accustomed to the pitch. And even yesterday,
tell you something, right?
Yeah, and maybe it's the way he train, because we don't see how how he looks in the training. Of course, we're not there, but he was never given a chance. And actually, I liked that the last game. I was expecting how he played the last game, the game against Al Alain. I was expecting him to play at least a half against the Wydad, and actually, he didn't even warm up, I think so.
We were carrying cup miners the whole year, so we couldn't have two holes in the water.
That's like a player I'm worried about.
Yeah,
that's another big.
Yeah,
because I have to check how old Cup Miners is, because I like from the way he moves on the pitch.
Yeah,
he looks like he's 37.
You look in my shape.
Yeah,
I'm almost 47.
How old is that guy? He's like 27.
Yeah,
he moves around like he's end of the career. Had a couple of ACLs. The hamstrings are, broken to pieces, and he's not that old. It's just very puzzling. I don't know what's going on there.
Eduardo, what do you think about the Luis Cup Miners situation?
I agree. Douglas should not he needs to have consistency. 3, 4, 5, 6 games in a row and adapt to the whole, team and on a real game, not only on training, but on games, on actual playing against somebody. Cup Miners, Cup Miners, I don't know what we're doing with him. I don't know. He might start serving the Gatorades maybe to these guys. Maybe it'd be easier. Maybe he can do that right. I don't know, but he looks like he moves like a grandma. I think my grandma is 86. She'll move quicker than him, in the backyard doing her vegetables and stuff.
Hopefully not.
Saudis are only hope for him.
Yeah, I think
There's
so too.
No way to unload him anywhere. No,
I don't think we'll be able to sell him to anybody.
No,
but the Saudis. Yeah.
But that's like so. Hey, Eduardo, we're gonna play a picture for you guys and video from you guys. So, what you're most excited about tomorrow and the day after? Because tomorrow everything's gonna start over there.
Yeah. Well, tomorrow is to have first of all, to have my kids go and see all these people. They'll see all the players. That's gonna be really exciting. And the part I like is that it's a selected group of people. It's not everybody. So you have more opportunities and more chances to talk to these guys and take pictures and all that. And my kids are super excited. Probably I am more than them, but we're all excited. And then I think on the day of the match, we're pretty excited about the tailgate, because a lot of people is gonna come in that we don't know. The guys from Toronto, the guys from Boston. There's a lot of people coming down. apparently, we'll talk to Grow.
Yeah, we have
and
this guy. Take care of this guy, okay? Take care of.
yeah,
this
we'll take care of him. We'll take care of him. But we talked to Grow, and he said there's gotta be over 100 people coming down there, and that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting. And then we're trying to prepare chants and everything for the game, so that's pretty exciting too. Having make noise at this stadium. It's gonna be at 3 o'clock. It's gonna be very hot and humid. So, oh yeah. The forecast is 96. Forecast is 96. Humidity over 70% during the middle of the summer in Orlando. We have to take replacement shirts because we're gonna be melting in there. But the meet and greet of the Juventus Village is in a place where they do small concerts and stuff, so it's pretty
nice.
decent size. And it has a lot of restaurants on the side. I think it's going to be very nice too. There's going to be a lot of people there too. We've been inviting, in our social media and stuff, a lot of people to go to the Wall Street Plaza. I think everything's going to be exciting starting tomorrow.
Hey, and maybe you're gonna have like another game, maybe around the 16, because I think they're gonna both play Miami, Orlando around the 16, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, actually,
yeah.
There's two more games in Orlando, but it depends on how we classify and we qualify to the other games. But yeah, supposedly, so it could be two more games here, and then I think it goes to Miami. Then after that,
but you're gonna have the round of 16 in Florida for sure.
Yeah. We already thinking using the Brightline. The Brightline is a chain they put in that recently opened, maybe a year ago. That it goes straight to Miami from the international airport.
He's worried about the beers.
That's already in the warehouse. It's already bought. Don't worry about it. Bring cash.
Hey, guys,
bring cash.
Do you expect Tudor making some turnover, or you think we're gonna see the same 11, 12, 13 players?
It's not with them many
crazy
options. I mean, I would play Vlahovic. I would play Vlahovic from the beginning. To begin with, we need to see if this guy can, get himself in the spotlight for once. It's again, get his value up. I would play Nico Gonzalez and have maybe Yildiz rest, or Conceição. But in the midfield, it looks like we don't have many options because is Locatelli healthy to play?
Yeah, I think he can play at least enough. So. I think he can play it.
But we don't have many. I mean, in the back line, there isn't really many options. Like the only Gatti, I don't think has 90 minutes. Because he's been recovered from the injury. He could play Rugani instead of Savona. But so he could make these 3 changes, but everything else is going to be, I think, the same.
You think? I think. Okay. Edo?
Yeah, maybe I would give a rest to, Yildiz, at least maybe like half a game, like one half, just keep him out and just, especially if the weather is that bad, like I don't want, cramps and all those things. It's awful weather to be playing in. But I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see why Savona as a center back is better than Rugani. Like at least see what he can bring to the table, because we are gonna need with 2 center backs coming back from ACLs. There's going to be a lot of rotations, especially early on in the season. So if we want to keep him around, then we should figure out whether he can do that or not. So I would test him out and see how he does. And McKennie looked very bad. Yeah, that's true.
Thuram
and also we need
yellow already.
And is that like $1,200? Well, $12,000.
$12,000 per yellow card that we pay with everybody's
ridiculous.
But yeah, I'm really worried about the weather, playing in that weather, and then somebody getting injured, so we're gonna miss him for not just the next game, but maybe skip part of the the training, the preseason. I don't want to do that. So, given that we're through the group stage, if we have to have some turnover, that's fine. I'm not gonna complain.
Yeah,
Sergio, what do you think?
I provocative question. Do we want to win it or do we not?
Right. Would it make the big of a difference? One to win it and 2 to
I-
change 1 or 2 players.
Always stay away from Real Madrid. So, if this is a bonus one and we get to, have a freebie and we can lose and we're already passed. So maybe,
Will we know before?
We just no, because
No.
we're gonna
We
play
won't
before
know?
Real Madrid. We know that we just need a tie. With a tie, we're gonna end first.
Right, we can tie. But to tie, you need a good defense, and we don't. So, that's the tricky part with tying.
I have a
Do you
feeling
guys think? Do you guys think that this Manchester City we're meeting now is as approachable as the one we met in December, or they've gotten better?
it's gotten better.
They got more players for sure.
Yeah, but even in the Premier League, when we beat them, they lost like 10 games in a row.
Yeah,
That's when we played them at the perfect time,
Yeah,
and
it will be a
they
good test for us.
flowed better over
it
time.
will be.
It'll be a good test because we haven't figured it out if we're actually playing better or if we're just played weak teams, which they have been weak teams. But we played weak teams in Serie A and we sucked with them.
I mean, we got kicked
yeah.
out of Coppa Italia by Empoli's.
Right.
Yeah.
So it would be a good test. It would be interesting. Besides the result, you win, you lose, or you tie, the way we play against that type of a team will be interesting to test what's going on now with Tudor and the team.
Yeah, not getting overwhelmed. Personality, like you can lose, right? You show up, then
Yeah.
Eduardo, you expecting a turnover, or I think you don't want to see turnover, right?
He doesn't want a turnover. He wants everybody on the pitch.
Yeah, no, but you know what? I would like to see Douglas Luiz from minute 1 because he knows how to play Premier League.
It's a mystery, man.
Right? Yeah, it's a mystery, but we're not gonna know if we don't put him. We'll never find out. He'll play against Manchester City many times, so he might be not the same team, but I think he should know how to approach these people, and of course give a break to Gildis, give a break to Savona. I will play Rugani. I mean, Rugani's not the best defender in the world. It's not, but I think he's pretty decent. I think he can do a good job. He will not be Bremer, but he's a good defender. I think he can do. And we'll give a rest to Savona, I think we should give a rest to Colomwani too, at least the first half of the game, and see how everything turns out. And then Tudor can always turn it around for the second half or beginning of the second half.
Actually, I think Juventus is one of the few teams that haven't done a turnover between the first 2 games. Okay, we basically see the same team in the first and second in the first and second game, and actually yesterday even the subs came in really late in the game. Okay, because beside the Cup miners sub at the beginning of the second half, everybody else came up only the last 20 minutes. Yeah. So I hope I hope Thuram is gonna say it because we cannot afford to lose Thuram for the round of 16. Okay, he's the only player that I think him and Ildiz are the player that we cannot play without. So at least see them, but we'll see. Okay, last question for you guys. Then I have to go cook. And actually, I think I already bought the green peas. But okay, so they're gonna yell at me. And prediction, Eduardo.
I think we're gonna tie. I think we're gonna go 1-1.
Okay. Sergio,
Ooh.
you want to see this? Who's gonna score?
Colo. I think Colo.
Okay.
Colo will.
Sergio, you have 2-2 from
I
Abra.
want to not jinx it, so I'll say we're either going to tie or we're going to lose, but not too bad.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna skip you because probably you're gonna say you're gonna lose 4-0. So I'm gonna.
True.
He's like
It's
me.
not
Okay.
true.
No, it's impossible.
Thank you.
No, it's impossible.
Then he's gonna
as
stop
negative as
complaining about
Eduardo.
me.
No. Okay. 2-2. So Abram, it's not gonna be a 2-2. So okay. Who's gonna
I
score?
trust Abram. I trust my brother Abram. Colo and Thuram. Because he has like 4 assists already or 3, like in 2 games. Thuram never been that kind of player, so I want to see score.
Maybe Salona will score.
I think we're gonna lose. I think we're not gonna win this one. Unfortunately, I don't know. I mean, we're gonna be scored. I mean, I don't understand how we cannot get scored on by Manchester City with this defense, and so now it's a matter of we're gonna score 2, 3 against them. I don't know. I don't see it. So I don't think we're gonna win it. Let's put it this way. I don't think we win.
Okay.
What do you say?
I'm gonna say a tie, 1-1. Hoping for a tie, but I think we're gonna tie, and Real Madrid is gonna lose against Salzburg and gonna end second. So we're gonna play Real Madrid in the round 16 because Real Madrid probably. Well, but at least if you finish first, I think for what the bracket was coming up, I think Paris Saint-Germain gonna play on the other side. So we'll see. Well, we'll see. At least we made it around 16. That was like the minimum that we could do. So, guys, okay. Oh, you change, Abram? Okay, so 3-3.
3-3. He wants to see a good game. He wants to see a good game. He's gonna be there.
A bunch of goals.
Why not? Yeah. Behave, Abram. Okay. So, Eduardo, have fun. Okay, we come back whenever you want. Sergio as well. No. Finally, we met. And guys,
nice. Great. Thank you for having me.
Eduardo, go drink some Chianti, please. So I know you love it, and that's it. It's not even say bye to me anymore. No, so there is not inside joke because for Eduardo, there is only one kind of wine that exists in all Italy. Actually, and it's Nebbiolo. Okay,
no,
I don't know what.
Slow down.
Really
it's one kind of grape. It's not a wine.
Yes, thank you.
Ooh, there you go.
So you can do Barolo, Barbaresco, Nebbiolo, anything that comes from that grape, right? Yes.
So I guess you're coming from that kind of that part of Italy, I guess, right?
Yes, Piedmont.
My brother.
There you go.
Okay, guys,
Right, guys.
have fun. Thank you, and fino alla fine.
Ciao ragazzi, fino alla fine.
Bye,
Bye,
Bye, everyone.